Hi and welcome to episode 42 of the Yarnniffler podcast. My name is Sam, I'm a university student from Belgium. I love to knit, crochet and cross stitch while I'm not studying and sometimes while I'm studying. Today we are Thursday, March 13th. It is almost 3 o'clock. I have about an hour because at 4 I have to leave to get to my afternoon class. So let's see, hopefully I can get everything in. It's been more than 3 months since I made a new episode. I did Vlogmas, which was very fun, but also very tiring, and like filming every day and then editing and posting or every 2 or 3 days sometimes. Then it was exam time, so I had no energy to film any podcasts. I did a lot of knitting. And then the start of the new semester started also with my bachelor's project, which we had a lot of days when we had to go into the lab to do stuff. So this is the first time that I have found the energy, the time and the motivation to do it. So let's get into it. I've got a lot of socks to show you and some other stuff. So first off, I'm just gonna go through my sock FOs pretty fast. So these ones you have seen, these are my Hobbit socks. So the different colors you see were, trying to find the words, were 20-gram minis from Atelier 12 based in her Wyffels sock, and they were based on one of the pictures from the movie The Hobbit. I have, then I think you haven't seen any of these socks. Let me show you maybe just one of them on the sock blocker. So let's see, this one is also by Atelier 12 based, and this is in, where's the second one? Here. So you can see there's some pooling and some striping, some micro striping, and this is called Light in the Darkness, and these are my little Purtle socks. So this is the yarn I bought at the yarn festival, and then with the leftovers from this sock and from my Gollum socks, which is also by the same dyer, I held those together and I made some DK weight socks, and those are these ones. So these are more like, these are very tall socks, these are also tall socks, and these are more medium length. And for these ones, yeah, as you can see, I used 2 threads of BFL sock from Atelier 12 based in the Gollum colorway, and the leftovers from these socks into the Light in the Darkness colorway. So those are other socks I finished. And these ones, together with the other 2 pairs I'm going to show you, are mostly worked during classes. So the new semester started, and on Monday I have 2-hour class, on Tuesday I have a 2-hour class, and on Friday we have about on Thursday, like today, we have about 6 hours of class, and most of those are just like half of the time you don't really have to take notes. So to keep my attention there, I knit. So I knit these DK ones, I knit these shorties, 2 socks of them, and these are shorties number 17 if you would be looking for them in the show notes. I did not tell you that. Everything I will be talking about will be linked down below. If it is a Reverie pattern or anything, and if something is not clear, please tell me. If you're watching this the first day it comes out, it can be that not everything is on Reverie yet, but I will try to make sure of it, because I've left it behind a little bit. So these ones are the leftovers from my Irene socks I made. These are by Shirley Bryan Yarns in the Deconstruct Fade sock, and the colorway is Shirley Bryan in collaboration with the Grocery Girls. So those are those socks, and then the last pair of socks I have are some tall rainbow socks. So I will be putting these ones both on the sock blockers because they are opposite colors. So this is the Lang Yarns twin sock, and this one is color 511. So as you can see, if you would hold them like this, you get the whole fade, but I chose to make them mismatched. So these are them, mostly also knit during class this semester. So those are all the socks I wanted to show you. I know this goes pretty fast, but to be honest, when I'm watching other podcasters tell about their stuff, I just don't need a lot of information. Maybe telling you I have my own toe up recipe. I use 56 stitches toe up, and I go for 2.5mm needle, and then I switch to 2.25, so a little one size smaller for the ribbing, and the ribbing can be very long, very short, I don't know, I just do what I want at that moment. Those are that, and then what I finished last night, the project that I knitted mostly last week during class, is another hat for my dad. So this is the ribbed watch cap and beanie number 4, and this is by Church House Mouse Yarns. Now I can't remember so let's go back into my notes and see when did I make another one, because I've made a couple of them, but my mom washed 2 of my dad's hats, and they shrunk in the washer because they are 100% wool. They are superwash, and they were in like a small baggie, so not just in with everything, but still it got felted, 2 of his hats. So this summer I made a new one, and now I made another new one, and I am trying to remember when another time that I told you about this. So yeah, just talk amongst yourselves. So it is by Church Mouse Yarns and Tees, and this one is 120 stitches to start with, because like the pattern gives you another number of stitches to cast on. I already tried 136, but that was just a little bit too big, so I went down to 120 stitches, and I just knit until it measures a certain centimeter, I think almost like 15, and then I do the decreases like written in the pattern, and yep, it's finished. So I am gonna wash and block it this weekend. It looks very small, like, but it is a 1x1 rib, so it is very stretchy. And this yarn that I use, now I'll go back to the notes for today, is, let's see, is by Lana Grossa. It's cool wool merino, super fine, in the color 433 or black. Oh, I just remembered, I have one more finished object to show you, but I didn't put it here because it's still in the bathroom from wearing it. So let me get it. Let me put the complete pile of socks out of the way, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I am back with the last finished object I want to show you, back under my blanket because I'm a little bit cold and also it's cozy. I made another Tulsa tee, this time a fingering weight version from Rebecca of the Crea Bea. This is size 5 like all the other ones I made, and this one, let me see, where is the label? So this one is from Schachenmeier, Fashion Soft Linen Mix, and as you can see, I only paid €2 a ball because this was in some kind of sale a couple of years ago, and I bought, I think about, I used all of them, so it's 7 balls, almost 7 full balls of 50 grams, and this one is 70% viscose and 30% linen. So it was still in the bathroom from wearing it, so yes, I am, because it is this linen and viscose blend, it is very drapey, and if you not hold it the right way, it looks funny. So let me try to hold it the right way. So yeah, there you go. I was wearing it earlier this week when it was still warmer here, but it was almost freezing this night, so this kind of summer shirt is not for the moment. It was very fun to knit, went very quickly. I did most of these while reading a couple of books, so that was fun as well. I'm just having a look. Okay, and then I have less good news. I would have loved to show you this as a finished object, but I don't have enough yarn. So this is the Tombow tee handmade by Florence. I am making size E. So this is kind of like a drop shoulder, or yeah, drop shoulder raglan construction, something. I don't know how to explain it, but it was gonna be a very fitted tee at the moment. It is, as you can see, a beautiful crop top, but all of the yarn I have left is in here. So I have no more, almost no more yellow left. And for the other ones, yeah. And I'm just like, because I already did like, how can I say this? The sides and like the extra bits that needed to be in yellow, but I don't know why it does not work out. But yeah, so this is gonna be frogged again. If you remember, I also tried to make a DKA tosta tee with this, with holding it double and fading it in together. But I really like the striping, so I think I am going to try. So I'm gonna rip it out. I'm gonna have lots of small balls because sometimes I had to cut the yarn to make, like, to work for the pattern. But I'm gonna rip it out, skein up all the balls and see where I get. And then I think I'm gonna make a fingering weight tulsa tee, because I have 5 colors, and this yarn is Mace of Skeins in her fingering weight in the colorway Tulip. So I have 5 like 5 colors that work together, and I think I'm just gonna try maybe a little bit of bigger stripes in a tulsa tee with like a looser gauge, because I have about 250 grams of this, and I know with about 200 grams I can get a full tulsa tee out of fingering weight. So I think this should work, so we'll see. I was also thinking of maybe turning it into a tank top, but the problem is that I want to wear a tank top when it's warm, and because this is a superwash merino with nylon, I don't know the exact content right now, but because it's a wool nylon blend, because it's like mostly a fingering sock weight yarn, it will be too hot in summer. That was a very long explanation, but that's what I mean. So I am just going to rip it out and try again, but like, even on camera I really like how the stripes look, so we'll see. These are 4-row stripes that I did, and then I'm trying to see on which side. On the inside I just carried all the yarns. Let me try to show you. So maybe let's go for a tulsa tee, which is just with bigger needles and a looser gauge, and also I know how that works, because this one is a very fun pattern, but I think I'm gonna have to use another yarn to do this one. So let's just put this here, and I've wanted to rip it out and start something so many times already, but yeah, I was waiting to show you how it looks. So that's that one shown to you, so it can be ripped out and started something again. Okay, those are all like the finished objects. I have one cross stitch finished object, but I'm gonna show you the cross stitch after I've shown you all the knitting stuff. So let's go into my whips. Let's show you one you've seen before, but I've worked on a lot. That is the step aside. This one here. I'm just trying to see that I don't lose any stitches because lots of stuff is on hold. So this is a pattern by Yarnniffler. I am making a size 6, and the yarn I'm using is Soul wool, reborn wool recycled. So it's think about 60% wool and 40% recycled fibers. Don't quote me on that. Let's see. I don't have a label close by, but I will tell you later on. Or you can go to Ravelry, and on the Ravelry page you can see which yarn I'm using and all of that. And I finished completely, let's say, this is the back side. So I finished completely the right side. So I have done the color work. Then afterwards, you like everything is knit in one piece, and then you have to stick. And then I did this side panel, like this is this twisted rib panel, and then I did these 2 side panels to form the pocket. So now I just have to start, but maybe tonight I can see, but to start the color work part on the other side, because once it's started it is pretty easy. Like every row I just have to check out what the pattern is, but it's pretty easy to memorize to knit it. But first you have to like do the whole setup to make sure that everything is in the right place, and so I haven't done that yet, because once that's finished, the other parts like this twisted ribbing or these side parts go pretty quickly and are pretty easy to do. So that is something I want to do, but yeah, I'm thinking maybe not tonight because I have knit night tonight, and I don't think it's a good idea to be talking and trying to do color work on that one. So that's one of the only whips that I have still left that I've shown you before. Then I have a pair of socks to show you that I started this morning in class, and these ones are gonna be scrappy socks. So I have some leftovers which from my previous scrappy socks, and I even have some smaller balls here, and they are going. So I think maybe with these ones are a couple of stripes, and these ones, yeah, we'll see. Whatever, just gonna keep going until almost every piece is used, and then the rest leftovers can go into my scrappy blanket. So yeah, just as you can see, 2 at a time, toe up socks on 56 stitches on 2.5 millimeter needles, which is a size 1.5. So those are in here. I have to take these with me to class that I have in an hour, so let's not forget those. And then I have some scrappy projects to show you. So this is what I worked on most during my exam period. I was not into making a sweater like I've done some other years, but I was like into scrappy blanket modus and scrappy cardigan modus. Whatever. The first one is my northeasterly. This one you have seen before. So this one I have started 3 years ago. I'm thinking, did I start this? I think I did 2 years ago. But yeah, I have no idea where it was the last time I showed you, but let's see. It has 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 full panels, and I'm working on the 10th one right now. So let me show you. So I remember, I think, it's getting big, but it's not big enough. So like I chose the length, but now it needs to be added in width still. So I think this stitch marker is somewhere around the last time you've seen it. So I added 3 whole panels, the rest of this one and the new one I'm starting. So let me just try to show you how it's looking. Like, this is one of my favorite parts because this is a whole fade from my advent, which is it starts here, and as you can see, it goes into like purples and then it goes into pinks. And then now I am having so I make a magic cake. So I just use all the leftovers I have from, this is a fingering weight one, so these needles are 3mm ones, and I just knot them together with a magic knot. And this is a full, I think, almost 60 grams of all self-striping yarn, or some kind of self-striping yarn mostly, or fingering weight yarn, or like sock yarn. So that's above this green part, that's all from this cake. And this is all, I made all 5 and 10 gram minis from the leftovers of all the socks I've made before I started collecting for this blanket, and then all the leftovers went into, everything less than 5 grams went into this cake, and that's what I'm using now. So most of the time I have some small scraps from, say, all the socks I did. I have some small scraps of those left over, or I keep, say I have enough yarn to make another pair, I just take about 2 or 3 grams out of the balls and they go into here. So from a certain, like the first 2 panels are more random, but from then on they're pretty consistent in time. So like this is also a whole other fade advent that's in here, and then like this is from, I don't know, from socks, from my rainbow dress, from other stuff I've made, and it's all memories that go in here. But like this one is in between, say a top I made last summer and whatever the next scrap is in the new cake for everything from the last year, say, because that was around the time when I made this and tried to sell those minis via an Instagram here in Belgium, like a Dutch one which sells to Belgium and the Netherlands. I hope I'm explaining myself good enough. It's been a long time since I talked to you guys, so if there's something not clear, please ask me in the comments or send me a message and I'll definitely try to help you out. So I'm just looking, like I can remember during the exams that I was working on like these blue parts. So yes, I have done a lot on this one. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try to catch up and finish it all, but then I got interested in other stuff. Oh, here we have, where did I put that? I don't even remember. You know, this is from the Tombow tea. This is the, I am really confused now because I had that project bag with me just now and oh, it fell down. So I'm gonna just put it in here. This was like my swatch. Just a little bit chaotic energy today, but that's fine. And then I have 2 more scrappy projects, which I started this year. Yes, I even started on New Year's Day. And they go together in some kind. So let me explain to you. So the first one I have, this is all I have. So I have lots of small leftovers, which are, say, 10 grams or less, but are too much to just put into the blanket. I also have been receiving from a homespun house 3 10-gram minis every month. I have a couple of advents, which I have full balls and leftovers and stuff. So this is what I've been doing with it right now. So what I did is I have, let me show you. So say for example, I have a couple of here. So these ones are next going into this project. So I have, this is probably a full 20-gram mini, which I'm gonna use, and it has a little paper with a number in it, and I weighed it all, and I know, like, to know exactly if I'm gonna have enough to do all the things I want. But even I have, this one is from longer ago, and this is just a leftover, maybe 6 or 5 grams, another one. so they're in here to start working. So what I did is I made all those balls. I even have, can I show you one in here? I even have small ones. You can see there's a paper inside with a number, so I know how many grams it is, to have an idea how much I will be using. Then I separated them in dark and lighter colors, and I started knitting this. And now I am trying to see. So yes, this is the right side. It has lots of ends, but all of them are, except for like the ones on top of these squares, but all of the other ones are knit into the pattern. So once it is blocked and finished, they can be just snipped off. So this is going to be the End Times cardigan by Amy Gunderson, and it's like just a very simple throw over cardigan, open fronted, with just a little bit of bigger sleeves and lots and lots of tiny triangles. So as you can see, they will always have like a darker and a lighter color, and I am almost gonna have to see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 15. I think I am, or maybe one more square. I am at like the complete width for the back panel. So I used one of those same style cardigans. Whew, I just had to sneeze, so I was telling you I used a same style cardigan my mom has, which I really like to wear, and I like the measurements from it, so I just used that. So that's how I know how big this needs to be, because I'm not really working to a size in the pattern, because it's very simple. You have like a very simple diagram. It just lays out how you have to knit it and then how to sew it together, and you can easily add a row of squares or take one away. So that's what I'm doing. So this is each of this triangle is made with intarsia, so I think that's one that's important to note. But for the rest, it goes pretty fast, and for how big these squares are, I used less than 1 gram, so that's why I weigh everything to so it's always about 85, 0.85 grams, say 90. So take 1 gram is enough to make one of these triangles, but you could definitely like change it up and make bigger ones. So that's what's going on here, and I have some of the next combinations for dark and light in my project bag, because I have 2 big boxes with all of the leftover yarns I'm using for this, and yeah, taking all of those boxes with me every day is just not handy. So that's it. And I am using 2.75 millimeter needles for this, so just like a little bit bigger than what I knit my socks on. So, and then in combination with this, I am also making the Sweet Shop blanket by Laura Penrose, and this looks a lot bigger. So this is it. So like this was my my first square, and then you can see all the other ones I've added so far. And now I am a little confused. Oh yes, right, yeah. Sometimes you have to see, I like to add them in a certain way, just to work in all the ends as well. So that was why I was confused. So as you can see, it is, let's keep holding it like this. You can see I have to put one more in here, and then I can do this fully next row, but I'm doing this row first because that's easier to knit in my ends. So at the end I should not have to weave in a lot of ends, because as you can see, all those ones are knitted in. You could say this looks very similar to the End Times, but it's a completely other way of making your square. And I'm using, so once I've knit about 1 gram of the colors in here, I weigh the yarn, and if I have 8 grams or more, I make a square in this blanket. So for some of them I definitely don't have enough, and we will see how big this is gonna be, if I'm gonna be making a second one or whatever. It's just using up all the scraps And I think if I have 2 grams or less, I will start putting them together for my scrappy northeasterly blankets. And if I have more than 2 grams, but say less than 8, it goes back into the boxes for the next round, because I will need, excuse me, little burp, I will need lots and lots of small scraps to go into this one. So these ones go kind of together, because once I finished on the end times, I can go on to the northeasterly, and that's it. The yarn I am using for this one, I had here the tag. So this is also by Lang Yarns. It's Merino 120. So it's 100% merino superwash, and the color is 340223. So let me just show you like that. So it's just a light gray, the same light gray I used in my, I can't remember now, but I showed you last time, my Daft Days cardigan. So it's like a neutral to go with all the other crazy colors. And yeah, we will see how big it gets, how many stuff I have left over. But one of these squares takes a lot longer than one of these ones, so I'm always looking, like doing a couple of these ones and then putting all the yarns that I can into this one and together. But for the moment they are not too big, so they can travel together. But I think in a couple of days or weeks this one will get too big and just live on the couch here, just like my noticery lives on the couch here. So I have always something easy to knit on or to grab when I'm here at home. But for the people who don't know, this is not my parents' home, so this is my student home, you could say. And then during the weekend I travel home. So tomorrow on Friday I take the train for 2.5 hours home, and on Sunday I take the train back for 2.5 hours. So I always have a lot of knitting time on the train. So I always have to think, like, am I gonna work on this project this weekend? Is it really necessary to take with me? So I only took this with me this weekend and did a couple of squares and stuff on this one. But like my blanket, I only want to take it with me if I know, like, oh, I really want to knit on this and it's the only one I'm taking with, because sometimes half of my luggage is just yarn and projects I take with me, and then I don't do anything with it. So that's something. Those were all of the knitting projects I wanted to show you, and I have 2 cross stitch projects to show you. So this weekend I knitted a little bit on my End Times cardigan and my switcher blanket, but mostly I worked on my new cross stitch because I finished one cross stitch. So let me show you the one that I finished. I hope you remember this one. I showed you last time, and I have no idea where it was. So if I have a picture from last time, I will put it in here, but otherwise, yeah, you will see this. This one is completely finished. This is an 18 count Ada, I think, or 16 count, which I dyed myself, and then I used a DMC 2/1 full cross. So I used 2 threads over 1 whole full cross that are cross stitch terms. If you don't get it, ask me. If you're not interested, just skip. So this one is number 22 from X Stitch Pattern X, which I bought on Etsy. And then I'm from the same designer, I'm working on a new processing project, and it's this one. So I'll show you here what it looks like, but you can start to see the outline. So you have the mama fox and the baby fox. So this one is called Fox Mom and Baby by X Stitch Pattern X. Also bought on Etsy. I am using a linen for this. I have which one in here? So let's see. So this is 100% white linen in a 28 count, and this is also called it's an even weave linen. No idea exactly what that means, but it's some type of fabric. So and it's one I bought from Mariko Designs. So it's a 28 count. So if you would be doing 2/2, you would be using this as a 14 count, but I'm doing 2/1 10 stitch, so only half a stitch in every single hole, and this is how it's looking. So I started, like, you can kind of see that it's like there's nothing here, and mostly I started to work in the diagonal, but then I decided I'm gonna do whatever I want. So I'm just filling in from top to bottom and just going as long as the thread takes me, because this is very small count, so 28 count, which means in 1 inch there are 28 holes, or like stitches you can make. So that makes just your projects so much smaller. If I would be doing this on this count, it would be bigger. If I would be doing the fox and mama on this fabric, it would be bigger than the fabric it is. So if you go to a smaller count, it just makes everything smaller. And it goes pretty fast because I'm only doing half stitch. So normally you make a full cross, and I'm doing only doing half cross, but I'm doing a 10 stitch, which should help with this linen to not get like stitches disappearing into it. This is not advice, this is stuff I learned from watching other YouTubers and other tutorials, so it's what I'm gonna try, and for now what I see, it's working. I've done about 3,000 stitches, I would say. I think I'm about 18% into it. So we will see. At the moment, this is my new obsession. So like yesterday I had no class and I did 2,100 and something stitches. This one I was doing 100 stitches a day and I stopped, and then in 1 week I decided I want to finish it, and I did 500 to 600 stitches a day on it. So this is really, I'm just going with my mojo. I want to work on this right now, so I'm working on this. I want to work on a knit project, I'm working on it. But like after finishing the other one, and then I needed some more threads for this one, so I bought some yarns and at a store, and then I still didn't have everything for this one, so I placed an order online from some ones I needed as well. So I have everything with it. So this is all the floss I'm using. I made pretty long threads, but it's just easier for me because I hate threading my needle, and I definitely hate at the end to just like how to afterwards to just you go to a couple of stitches, or like here you can see these couple of threads hanging out that is just at the back. I just went 20-30 stitches down from my last stitch and I pulled a thread to it, and then once you've sewed everything, like made all your stitches, you can just clip this off and it's sewn in. But like if you start and you just have like, I don't know, 20 stitches which are all very spread apart, you can't go into them to do it. Like, let me show you the back. So as you can see, there's threads everywhere. So yeah, we'll see how it works out, but at the moment I'm very much enjoying this. And I also know I want to make like a very big full coverage one, and this is helping me decide if I want to make it half stitch, full cross, 10 stitch, on a 20 count, 28 count, even smaller than this. So that's all helping me right now. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of this one. Like also this one looks just, it looks so cool. Like I'm gonna frame it or like put it on a cardboard, and it's gonna be in here because like as you can see, let me show. As you can see, those are all my cross stitches that I made. So this one is gonna go up on there as well. So so yeah, I think that's about everything I wanted to say. Still have about half an hour before I need to leave, but it's not necessary for me to keep on talking. So if you've seen some of my episodes from earlier, I can keep on talking about stuff, but that's not necessary. And also like it takes a long time to edit and then to upload these videos and stuff. So what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day, in about half an hour I have to leave for class. Then I have my 2-hour class. Afterwards, I'm gonna make some dinner, do the dishes, and then I have knit night with two of my friends that we met via Instagram. They're both in the UK. We know each other just through Instagram, and we have a group chat there. And then it's like, oh, who's free to chat for knit night? So that's what's gonna happen tonight. I think I'm gonna go swimming tomorrow, so that's something if you would be interested. And for the rest, I am not super busy with school because I don't have lots of, like, I have 10 hours of classes every week, and then I have about, like, next week we're going on an excursion, so next Wednesday we're gone the whole day. We go somewhere, we see the plants, we see the animals, we get information. I'm studying to be a biologist, so that's very interesting to me. So that is happening. But like last year we had those every week from March going on, but now we only have 2, and then in May we're going away for a whole week like a whole week to the Ardennes. But for the rest, that's all. So I'm busy with my bachelor's project, but it's not super big, so it's like it's working out. So yeah, I think that's all. I am going to sit and cross stitch a little bit before I have to go to class, and then I hope you have a good day, whatever time you're watching this. I hope to see you again in the next one. I have no idea. I hope to do this again in 2 weeks, but I don't know. I was just not feeling it, and then the last couple of weeks it was very gray and rainy here and cold, so I didn't want to do it. And then last week it was sunny and warm. We had like 15-degree weather. We even had 20 degrees last weekend, which was so fun. And then today it was freezing again, so I don't know. When it's like good weather, I also have more energy and more stuff. Like, I want to talk to you, but it was just a big hurdle. So now let's hope that I start it again, and we'll see you next time. But I don't know when. If you like this, you can like and subscribe, which tells me that you want to see more of it. And I think I'm gonna stop rambling, do some cross stitch, and then go to class. So see you next time.